Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Kimbo here, and it's time for a special little video. This won't be too long of a video, but yeah, it's really big. We got clarification for some things going into Bakugan Evolutions, aka Season 4. Thank you, Haruren, for having a video right as soon as I woke up. But yeah, anyways, we're going to get into it, and we're going to talk about it, dude. So, yeah. So we've got rulings for the symbols and also for the Nanogun. And I'm going to make this video and put it out so it helps us get geared up for the next season, for evolutions. Because knowing these code words and stuff and the symbols, yeah, it's going to help us out big time. So in order to do so, I've got 3 cards here. So they all have the different symbols on them. But yeah, man. So we're getting into the symbols first, and then I'll explain the things with the Nanogun. So, with all of these new Bakugan, well, like the mythics, we've seen it. We have these symbols down here, and they all mean certain things. At first, we didn't know what exactly they meant, but yeah, now we do. So this is gonna be sick, man. So getting into it, yeah, they've all got different symbols. So we see the symbol with Nilius, of course, 606, double helix, and the reroll. And we wondered, what does this symbol mean? So essentially, if it lands on a helix, it gets this effect. But what this means is it's basically consort. So you add a core from the field to one of your Bakugan. And it's basically got a built-in consort. So that is what the plus symbol means right there. And that's honestly very big because like domination decks are going to be really wild. And plus it goes into just effects for the Nanogun. But yeah, I'm really enjoying how they did this, man. So yeah, that's basically a built-in consort. That's what that symbol means right there. And then next up, I'll get into this symbol next. So we got Fade Ninja here. Opened it recently. 407. Double helix with it, of course. Built-in reroll, which is really sick. But if it lands on a helix, it gets this symbol. So we see the minus right there around the hex core kind of logo. So what this means is when you play this, like if you have a helix, you can remove a core from an enemy Bakugan. So it's basically like a built-in hot potato. Yeah, getting rid of one of your opponent's cores, which that's honestly really, really big, dude. Like on the spot, if you land on a helix with this, getting rid of a core from your opponent, that's big, dude. So you've got Bakugan, if they sit there and depend on like a certain core, like for that core bonus, like you land on a fish, you get an extra bonus. Flame Fist, extra bonus. Shield, Magic Shield, Helix, whatever. Yeah, it takes that bonus away from it because they lose that core. So that is very, very big. It's honestly making it really, really spicy, even with these effects. But yeah, next up, we've got this symbol right here, and we see it on the Darkest Gorthia on the Mythic version. So 801 it gets up to, 801, it gets up to like 1200, But yeah, built-in reroll with it, which is really cool. But if it lands on a shield, it gets this effect. So we've got the arrow pointing. What this means is this is honestly a really, really spicy one. So with this one, you take your opponent's core and put it on your own Bakugan, man. So it's got like a mini Mega Pega effect, Maximus Pegatrix Ultra. Yeah, when you play it, you could take the cores from your opponent and put it on Pegatrix, which is wild. But yeah, it's essentially got that effect. So you can take a core from your opponent and put it on your Bakugan, which honestly, that's very big. And this switches up things big time, like just these 3 additional effects. Because with these, they make it where trap cores, how Geogan Rising made trap cores more usable just because like the Geogan and stuff, being the traps for the Geogan to stop them. This makes them that much more usable because, for example, if you land on a bad core, like you could psych your opponent out. Like they tried to do this effect with it. You land on a bad core and then they get this effect. So like, like how Nilius has the take a core from an opponent. Imagine they have a trap core, or you have a trap core, and your opponent plays as Nilius. They try to take your core thinking it's really good. Nah, man, they're getting the dud. They're getting the bad core, and that could actually switch up things big time. You can play big time mind games even with these effects, dude. It makes it where consort decks are going to be that much stronger. Yeah, man. And then you could also play more mind games because it's just like, yeah, have a bad core in your Bakugan, and then them thinking that it's a good core. You take that core away from them. And then it's like, oh crap, well, it's a bad core. Or you, like, they take the core away from you if they're doing it in this case, you know. And then they're like, oh man, this is a bad core. Like, you could even play some big time mind games with it, dude. Like, it switches up things that much more. And consort decks are going to be that much more usable with these effects that are coming in with Season 4. So it's really, really epic seeing that, man. But yeah, dude, so that is what those symbols do. Like, the plus, you can take a core from the field and add it to your Bakugan. So getting that domination in there, or even the trifecta effect, you know, like making domination and trifecta decks that much stronger with this. They have the minus symbol, then you can take a core away from your opponent and have them put it back in the field, you know. So getting rid of that big time power if they have like a certain Bakugan that gets a big boost landing on a certain type of core, you know. Because there's a lot of those Bakugan they added with Season 3 and also even Season 4 seems like they're adding some more. But yeah, man, and then the arrow, literally taking your opponent's core and then taking it for yourself. That's the most interesting one because, like I said, you could use it as like a trap. Like you have a trap and then your opponent does that. They take your trap core that's on your Bakugan. So you can play mind games with that. Or even just take, like if they have an actual good core, take their core and put on your Bakugan. And it plays into the Nanogun. So now getting into it for the Nanogun. Also, like if I had mentioned it before, big shout out, of course, to Haruren for making the video on it, and also Toolbox. He's also a Baku Master. They're both Baku Masters, you know. They're both really, really epic. But yeah, Toolbox is the one that went and found out this info, and Haruren reported on it. And it's nice just to see that we're getting clarification for this, man. So, with the Nanogun, so Nanogun coming in with this, you know, basically similar to how like the Baku gear were, you know, the figures that you open and stuff. I love how they have the actual like sphere design with them, but they are like button activated, I think, just to open them up. But yeah, so clarification with the Nanogun, how they're going to be used. So everybody knows, like going into Season 4, when you're picking up the Nanogun, how you can use them for actual like profiles. So with the Nanogun, they actually count as like kind of special Bakugan. So what I mean by this is they don't have any symbols on them, you know, like any like energy cost in order to use them. Basically, they have kind of the Geogon effect where you could play them in a brawl, but you could play up to three. You could play up to three, but you can only use each of them one time. So like the Geogon effect, how you can only play like a Geogon. When you play a Geogon, you can only use one per battle. Well, you can use up to 3 Nanogon per battle, you know. But you can only use them one time. So you can't overuse them and stuff, you know, and that's one thing that keeps the balance big time, because obviously with them coming in, there's big time power with them, because you see like they have like you get this core and this core and this core or such within a certain order, you can get a big time bonus with it, you know. And that's one thing that's been crazy to see about the Nanogun. It's like, holy cow, like, with all these cores it gets this bonus. They essentially count for all the Bakugan. So say you need your Bakugan to have all of those cores combined in order to get the effect for the Nanogun. So they build off of like all your Bakugan having those certain cores, and then they make it where like you get a crazy team attack or such. They boost the power of it essentially. You know, which is really, really cool to see that they're diversifying the game big time. And yes, it's like, holy cow, like that's a lot of power, because you got like, you need like, for example, it could be like you need like a fish, you need a helix, you need a shield, like all of those in order to get this effect. But you need your Bakugan to have all of those cores with it. And is that a lot of power? Yeah. And especially like having these abilities for like just seeing with the mythics going forward, where you can get cores and attach them. Like, yeah, man, domination decks are gonna be wild. And you can see like that big time B power increase and stuff is coming. But it has to be so specific, and you can only use it like one time for each Nanogon, you know, so that's definitely where the balance is. And like I said, you can use up to 3 Nanogon per battle, but they have to correspond to the Bakugan that you have in your profile, you know, in your deck, in order to use them. And you can use up to 3. Yeah, dude, and it's just so wild. And some of them have like 2 effects. So you'll see like if you have like 2 cores that are certain cores, you get this effect. If you have 3 cores, then you get this effect. You can only use one of them, you know, so you have to pick and choose. Like, do you want to use this one with the 2, or do you want to use this one with the 3? You know, it just depends on the Nanogun too, because, you know, some Nanogun maybe it'll be like if you land on this core, you'll get this bonus. But usually it looks like it's going to be like 2 or 3 cores that you need in order to get the extra bonus for the Nanogun. But yeah, man. So even like using Leonidas going forward, because Leonidas having it where if you have 2 helixes, you get this extra bonus. Like, yeah, man, you gotta have the Nanogun play into that too. Like, it's all about like how you set up your deck profile, because you can have it where you have a Bakugan with the additional effect, you get a core, and you attach that to a Bakugan. But yeah, man, it shows like the balance with Leonidas even, because you needed to have both cores in order to have it actually work. So yeah, man, I like that they're diversifying the game that much more with this, and it's making things, in the words of Haru Ren, really, really spicy for sure, dude. So yeah, and like I said, you can only use like you could use 3 per battle, 3 Nanogon per battle, but you like I said, you can only use them once. So like you put out a Nanogon after that turn, you can't use it anymore for the battle. It's done, and you could use it like up to 3 of them for it. So yeah, it's honestly a really cool thing. Like it's diversifying the game for sure, big time. That's one thing. Another big thing with this is I know people are wondering with me explaining this. Do you have to lug around all of the Nanogon with it, Kimbo? The answer to that actually is no. You do not have to. It's just like how the Baku gear were. You don't have to have the actual pieces for the Baku gear. You can have the Nanogon cards. You don't even have to have the actual Nanogon with them. I mean, personally, I'll probably have the Nanogon with them because the figures are really sick and don't want them just to be on the back burner. So I'll probably include them. You know, but yeah, this is my personal preference. But you do not have to have the physical Nanogon in like in your party like with you in order to use them. So they're doing the Baku gear thing, so you're not having to like lug around a bunch of extra pieces, which that's really really sick to see, for sure, for anybody who doesn't want to lug around a bunch of like the plastic and stuff with it, just want to take their Bakugan or such. Yeah, so it's different from the Geogon, because the Geogon you have to have the physical Geogon in your deck in order to use it. The Nanogon you do not. So we're getting like Baku gear vibes with it, you know what I mean? But yeah, and like I said, they're not cards that are meant to go in your 40 card deck profile. They're like extra cards, like extra Bakugan, kinda, you know. So, yeah, and just assuming they take the place of like whatever Bakugan you put out there, will be the Nanogon. So, yeah, man, it's really, really wild just seeing that, how they're diversifying the game with the 4th season, and it's looking really really sick, and it's got me big time hype. My overall thoughts on it, I love it, because like there's still that balance in such big time. Like, is there more power and stuff coming in? Yeah, but it takes a good amount in order to get them out. They're so specific, the Nanogon are, that you have to get like certain cores in order to have the effect really go. So there's still the balance with that big time. You can only use 3 in a battle, and once you use one, you can't use it again. You know what I mean? So you got like basically 3 shots with them. And that's really really cool to see. So of course, having up to 3, like I said before, only could use them once per battle. So overall, you can get like 3 hits in with a Nanogun. You know, overall with the entire battle. So it shows like flip cards. People sleep on flip cards too much. You're gonna want flip cards for sure, especially like build ups like this. Yeah, but it's also still balanced, because you could see how even if you're getting more of these cores and stuff, like you need a helix or something, that still reduces the damage that you get for it. So yeah, your B power might go up, but the damage goes down steadily with that, depending on what cores you have with it. Like say if you need like a flame fist and a helix with it. Yeah, it seems like they're having it where like helixes are being included a lot with these Nanogon, to keep the balance. So that way, when you get the B power increase, the damage goes down a bit, and you have to focus on your damage cards still. So there's still that balance, even with the B power going up a bit, man. That's one thing I really enjoy seeing, man. Yeah, you can go for the B power, but then the damage going down a little bit, and they keeping the balance like that. That's really, really awesome to see, no doubt. But yeah, man, my overall thoughts on it, I'm very, very excited and very hyped for season 4. The main thing we just got to see is the freaking cards, man. I know I bring it up all the time, but legit, we got to see those cards big time, dude. They're gonna diversify the game that much more. Like the build up, even with how they're gonna do the Nanogon and stuff already with these rules, is sick. Like literally, trifecta domination decks are gonna be that much more usable, no doubt. I haven't made too many domination or trifecta decks recently, but honestly, like these effects with these Bakugan and Nanogon coming in are gonna make them that much more usable, which is really really sick, man. So yeah, you got crazy methods of like winning, like domination and trifecta getting a boost with this. You already know like rapid fire and sync are both really really crazy keywords. yeah, it's going to diversify the game that much more. And the main thing we just have to see is those freaking cards, man. I'm hoping Spin Master gets those cards out because we want shiny cardboard and we really want the TCG, especially with these new mechanics and stuff coming in. We see those cards for Shields of Astroya onwards, like Shields of Astroya, Secrets of the Geogon, the GG set, which all definitely have some really, really sick cards in them. We just got to see those cards come out so we can really see what we have to work with it. If the GG set, like I said, is the last set, then that's fine, you know. But we just got to see the cards up till that set, and people be able to get their hands on the cards for sure. You get those cards out on top of like adding everything with this season, and also other Bakugan coming back that we saw. We didn't see their factions for in previous seasons, and they put them out with this season on top of the Platinum Bakugan, on top of like the Mythics we're getting and stuff. It really being a melting pot for this season, and the thing to drive it over the edge and make this game absolutely perfect is getting those cards out there. I'm telling you, man. But yeah, overall, I'm very, very hyped for Season 4. These mechanics and stuff, and you already know I'll definitely do some profiles with Nanogun and such going forward. But yeah, anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Just explaining the symbols on some of the mythic Bakugan, like the Bakugan we see going forward, what those symbols mean, showing them off personally, and then also how things are for the Nanogun. So yeah, very big development, and yeah, figured it's a good day to get it out too because it's the last day of 2021 when I'm filming this. So yeah, man. Anyways, hope you guys are as hype as I am about Season 4. It's going to be really, really epic. Looking forward to it big time. And yeah, just got to see those cards. That's the main thing. Anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this video. This is also going to be the last kind of discussion video for the year, you know, Bakugan discussion video for the year, because obviously it being the 31st of December, last day of 2021. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to 2022 in a big time way. And literally, as soon as I said that, the light started shining in here big time. That's why it's so bright. But yeah, the light's shining through for sure. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to slice that like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, definitely be sure to subscribe for some epic content because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring that bell by my channel name to be notified whenever I upload a video. So yeah, guys, till next time, it is your boy Kimbo signing off. See you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Till then, stay awesome and Bakugan Brawl. I'm up out of here.